Conservative MP Maxime Bernier was recently in Calgary to test the waters to see how much support he could garner if he were to run for the leadership of the Conservative Party of Canada. Of course, the party announced recently that the vote will take place on May 27th, 2017. So I caught up with Maxime Bernier and Tim Mohan, leader of the Libertarian Party of Canada, plus a big crowd that attended a meet and greet at a local pub. The Libertarians organized the event because they see Maxime Bernier as a suitable candidate to represent libertarianism in Parliament. So I talked to Tim Mohan about why he thinks that Maxime Bernier would be an exceptional candidate to lead the CPC.
Maxime is a great choice for Conservative leadership because he brings back that heart and soul. He brings the party back to principles. He has consistently, in his 10 years in Parliament, talked about smaller government. He's talked about monetary and inflationary policy. He's the only Conservative I hear talking about those things. And I think if he were leading the party, he could restore those kind of small government Conservative values. People would know what the Conservatives stand for again. And it's a message that people believe in and that they want to vote for, but they're just not hearing it.
What Tim Mohan says rings true. We have only 2 provincial Conservative majority governments in Canada at this time. And of course, the Liberals won a majority government federally, and the Conservatives only gained 99 seats. So I had a chance to ask Maxime Bernier himself what he thinks needs to happen in order for the Conservative Party to win the next election. And he talked about some core Conservative and Libertarian values that he thinks could help strengthen the party.
You know, fighting for something. I want to fight for the ideas that are at the basic of the Occidental Western civilization. More freedom, less government. I don't believe in big government that will interfere in our day-to-day life. I believe in a small government that will be strong, but strong in its jurisdiction. No interference with provincial jurisdiction. Respecting the Constitution, respecting Canadian. And I think we must promote that. We must promote more freedom. And we know that Canadians are responsible people, and that's being a conservative, believing in entrepreneurship and believing in Canadians and not in big fat government in Ottawa.
It's well known that Conservatives and Libertarians share some of the same basic values and principles, and a lot of people at the event identify as Libertarian but support the Conservative Party of Canada because they're the most in line with their values and they have the best chance at governing outside of the actual Libertarian Party of Canada. There were also a lot of young people in attendance, and I had a chance to catch up with Alex, who does identify as a classical liberal but supports the Conservative Party of Canada. I asked him what exactly it is that draws him to libertarianism, and here's what he had to say.
Tim's a great guy. I've known him socially in Alberta for a couple of years now, and I've always been a supporter of that kind of Milton Friedman small c conservatism or classical liberalism. And so, yeah, I wanted to come out and learn more, and I've always been a supporter of smaller government.
It seems as though young people are really starting to gravitate towards libertarianism. When I asked Alex whether he'd back Maxime Bernier as a leadership candidate, he was all in, and he even suggested that he would help volunteer with the MP. But most of the people that were at the event were there to actually meet Bernier and just listen to what he had to say. I ran into Keelan, a member of the Conservative Party of Canada, and when I asked him whether he would back the MP, this is what his answer was.
At this moment, it's hard to say if I would support him. I'm definitely leaning toward him. It depends what kind of policies he puts out and what kind of campaign he runs.
There's an interesting dynamic happening between Conservatives and Libertarians currently here in Canada. I think Libertarianism is gaining a lot more popularity and gaining a lot more steam. Case in point, look towards the Wild Rose Party here in Alberta. Classical Liberals follow the party, and Brian Jean, the leader, even identifies as a Libertarian. One could even go as far as suggesting that the party is the most Libertarian-leaning in Canadian history. If there were ever a good choice for Maxime Bernier to start a leadership campaign, it would be right here in Alberta. For the Rebel.media, I'm Holly Nicholas.